Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Nathan's 3D Factory. I got a question from someone asking, how do you animate this text on a curve? I did text on a curve a few episodes back, so I wanted to show you how to do this. So first of all, if I were just to go into my curve and try and do like some animated properties, you can do path animation on here, right? But if you do like evaluation time, you don't get anything. So I did a little digging here. And so what I found was if you try and get this so that this follows a path on a constraint, then you can get this to work, right? But now let's look at that. So right now, this object is a solidified text object, and it is on a curve. But for the constraint, that's what we want. So to do that, we are going to do a follow path. Now, if we were to do this, just following this path, object Bezier curve. Okay, so now we have something. Okay, and then if we just animate the path, then let's look at the path evaluation. Does some pretty crazy funky stuff, right? And it's doing what it's basically supposed to of following this path, but problem is that it messes around with other stuff here too, like scaling, position, all that stuff. So right here, this is our base point. You can kind of see on that. And it follows the path like it's supposed to. So let's go back to here at the very beginning at frame 1. So it's doing some stuff that I don't want it to do right now. So what I can do then is I can say, well, all right, so maybe what I want to do is I want to apply all this stuff, right? So I want to apply, but it says cannot apply modifier for this object type. Now remember, this is a text object. So if we change this from a text to a mesh, then we actually get some really good stuff here, right? So now we still have our follow path constraint, but we've lost all of our modifiers. Now it's not necessarily a bad thing, right? But if we're doing this now we have it so it's not doing all that weird funky scaling and weird deformation, right? But we don't want to do that. I'd like to have it so it rotates around this object, around this center, right? And so that it follows this path exactly. So next thing we look at is, where is this object's origin? So right here, you can't exactly see it right off the bat unless you really look. Okay, so it's right here. Okay, so we have our object's origin right here. Okay. So that's one of the first things we have to look at. So we have it so that it's going around it, and we just need to get it so that it adjusts where that origin is. But also you notice that if we go around this, it keeps its position, but does not alter the rotation, right? Well, what if we want to have that so it rotates around something? Well, let's go back to frame 1. We're going to go to our constraints. And then what we're going to do is that we're going to follow the curve. Now, you'll see that it kind of did this really crazy thing where it just went way out here. So now we do that. Well, now it rotates, but what do we do to fix that one? One last thing, right? And we can do this in a way where if we do the negative y, look at that. Pretty sweet, right? Now, what if I want to switch the direction of this? Let's take a look at this. And then I'm going to say switch direction. Okay. Okay, now, if we say Y, now let's take a look at this. And let's give it a try now. And now, this reads so it's not going backwards. This is now going in the direction we want it to go. So it works great for rotating around this circular object. So that is how you would animate the text on this curve object. So, let me know what you think of this episode in the comments below. Let me know if you like this by putting a like, commenting, and subscribing to this channel if you haven't done so already so that you keep up to date on more cool stuff. And thank you so much for watching this episode of Nathan's 3D Factory. Have a great day, guys.